Just can't shut me up. Just can't shut me up. Sometime I forgot to put that live now. Now live now. We're going to be reading out of Language of the Heart today, or on this one. You have it, Language of the Heart, be page 222. That's a good sign. That's a sign from God or the other person, because 222 times 3, that would make it 666. That's not good. That's not good. I have too many Facebooks open. I have to dual post. Yeah. Your tabs aren't like my tabs, I guarantee it. These are my tabs. Facebook. Right. YouTube. Dashboard for all recovery. YouTube. Restream. All right. Those are my tabs. I know you were curious. I know you were curious. Try to think of something you may not know about me. I've written a book. Done that. It's actually a game. It's an instruction manual. I have no idea where it is. I don't have a copy of it. It's called Lore, Legends, and Magic. It was a LARPing game. Stands for live action role play. I wrote it 30 years ago. Yeah. People call me crazy, stupid, weird. Now all of you get to enjoy cosplay. You're welcome. See, I'm one of those geeks that made shit cool. You're welcome. Whatever. Welcome to Daily Trudge. Dion. Stuff. If you're here, please say hello, or you're watching live or the rewatch. Nobody's here yet, so I'm only on YouTube. And my numbers are correct when that happens. All right. I now have 2.1K videos, which means I have 2,100 videos. 2,100. All me talking. All of me talking. All right. Problems other than alcohol, February 1958. We're not talking about our problems. We talk about the problems of other people. Perhaps there is no suffering more horrible than drug addiction. Yep. It's worse. Yep. Especially that kind which is produced by morphine, heroin, and other narcotics. Such drugs twist the mind, and the awful process of withdrawal racks the sufferer's body. Compared with the addict and his woes, we alcoholics are pikers. So nothing compared to is how I'm taking it. Barbiturates carried to the extreme can be almost as bad. In AA, we have members who have made great recoveries from both the bottle and the needle. We have also had a great many others who were or still are victimized by goofballs and even by the new tranquilizers. It's just getting worse, isn't it? Right? Consequently, this problem of drug addiction in its several forms lies close to us all. It stirs our deepest interest and sympathy. In the world around us, we see legions of men and women who are trying to cure or escape their problems by these means. Many AAs, especially those who have suffered these particular addictions, are now asking, what can we do about drugs within our fellowship and without? Okay, now this is 1958. What can we do as AA members to help drug addicts. We can make our meetings open, you know. I certainly do not mind. There's a lot of times that's what open AA meetings are for people to come in and find their path. That's the way I feel. Let's see what it says more about it here. Because several projects to help pill and drug takers are already afloat, projects which use the AA's 12 steps and in which AA members are active, there has risen a whole series of questions as to how efforts already meeting with not little success can be rightly related to the AA groups and to AA as a whole. You crack me up. Leave me the fuck alone. Get the fuck over, Dion. Till ice cream, dumbass. All right. Yeah, so what can we do? Right? Specifically, here's a list of questions. 1, can a non-alcoholic pill or drug addict become an AA member? 2, can such a person be brought as a visitor to an open AA meeting for help and inspiration? Does it? Oh, that would be so cool. We'll ship in the Bobby for you. Is it a male one too? Take a left. 3, can a pill or a drug taker who is also has a genuine alcoholic history become a member of AA? What's the turning lane, dumbass? God, when I'm sick, I can't do half my voices, but I can do Australian pretty darn well. I used to be able to do it. What was his name? Steve Irwin. I used to be able to do him really, really well. All right. 4, can AAs who have suffered both alcoholism and addiction from themselves into special purpose groups to help other AAs who are having drug trouble? 5, could such a special purpose group call itself an AA group? 6, could such a group also include non-alcoholic drug users? 7, if so, should these non-alcoholic pill or drug users be led to believe they have become AA members? Man, these are tough questions. 8, is there any objection to AAs who have the dual problem join outside groups such as Addicts Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous? I don't know why, but my brain goes back to we are a people who would not normally mix. But there exists among us a friendship, a friendliness. So why not? If the way I see it is, if the answer is God, then shouldn't anybody be able to be a part of? At the same time, I've never been in a trap house. I've never been gang stalked. Actually, that's not true. I'm being gang stalked now. But, I didn't experience these other things. Drug users, whoo, they could go to the wit's end. And a lot of time this happens because of trauma, serious trauma in their lives. And that is where I can connect. I can connect there. I may not be able to do it like I could an alcoholic, but let's say I'm working with a drug user. Well, my thought's going to go to, I have a bunch of friends that are like me that are ex-drug users, and they might be better than me. That's what I'm going to think of. What's best for this person? Should this person share in an AA meeting? I don't know, man. They're a child of God. At the same time, We alcoholics have earned our seat, and we can be pretty protective of that. We can be pretty protective of that. So I think that's why we have open AA meetings so that anybody can join. Now, if you are not, is this member of person a member of AA? Well, the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. It doesn't say the only requirement for membership is to be an alcoholic. So I don't know. Are they an AA member? Sure. I don't know. I don't have an answer to it. And I think this is where autonomy in the groups comes along. I have a lot of friends that are not alcoholic, but they're drug use. They're ex drug users. Okay, they even talk a little bit. Thanks, Daryl. It's the I'm gonna start calling it DDA. It's the Dion Daryl Amber show. You're I do have a lot of YouTube. I have 445 followers on YouTube. And I don't know. Let's go look. How much was no views, 3 views, 2 views. So yeah, no, nobody's watching it. Okay. But yeah, I already lost you because the count went down. Okay. While some of these questions almost answer themselves, others do not. But all of them, I think, can readily be resolved to the satisfaction of everyone if we have a good look at the AA traditions, which apply to another look at our long experience with a special purpose groups in AAs who are active today, both within and without our society. So I have one friend, and they are not either one. I'm not going to bring it's just another addiction, and they were kind of scared to go to 12. So I brought them to open AA meeting, and these people got pissed. They got mad. I'm like, this is an open AA meeting. Yeah, but it's for alcoholics. I'm like, it's an open AA meeting. It's an open AA meeting. So we went to a different place. They were fine with it. Right. I even got messages. Where you do a bring story like that? It's an open AA meeting. I don't think that group's around anymore. I don't know why. Okay. Then this person found their way to their meeting, and now they're doing great. Thank you, AA. When anyone anywhere reaches out for help, I want the hand of AA to be there for that. I'm fucking responsible. Now I help alcoholics first. I know, but I got it. Gotta help alcoholics first. I gotta know my lane. I don't know what it likes to put a needle in my arm. I don't know what it's like. I'm scared to do it. I hate needles. That'd be a horrible, horrible. I'd be a horrible drug user. All right, it's too dark. I was going to go out and mow the lawn, but I don't think the weather's going to let me. Now, there are certain things that AA cannot do for anybody, regardless of what our several desires or sympathies may be. Our first duty as a society is to ensure our own survival. Yeah. But I get it too. I don't like being all dark, but I guess it's just not going to matter. Okay. I'm not doing blackface. I promise you. Okay. But I get it because, I never fucking belonged anywhere, and I fought and I pleaded and I bled and I sweat and I did the tears and I did everything. So why should you invade my space? I'm going to turn this light off. It's driving me crazy. Here. If I need more light, I got it. There we go. Now you can see I have no teeth. Therefore, we have to avoid distractions and multi-purpose activity. An AA group as such cannot take on all personal problems of its members, let alone the problems of the whole world. And now here I am stuck, right, in the right decision. What is right? I don't think I'm going to know until the situation is there. It's too broad, right? So what happened, because I know for me, I don't know about anybody else, but if I got a medication that said don't take with alcohol, I got excited because I thought I was going to find another high. See, now I would use some drugs to enhance my drinking. Never worked. Didn't work. Sobriety, freedom from alcohol through the teaching and practice of the 12 steps is the sole purpose of an AA group. So maybe we start out there, but it's a limited time before we help them find their way. Can we do that? I'd be willing to do that because it just shows a good example. What does that mean? That means I'm going to have to educate myself a little bit more. I'm probably going to have to do some research. Maybe this person doesn't know how to do research. And I can show them, oh, this is how you look up your type of meeting. And I can lead them into the right direction instead of saying, get out. Okay? Or go to a closed meeting. I love closed meetings. I love them. I feel protected. Okay? So I get it. I get why we're selfish about AA. Go get your own group. Those people will be able to help you more than we can. We know that. I think now we're getting somewhere. When alcoholics help another alcoholic, when an addict helps another addict, when an overeater helps another overeater, when somebody with a sex problem helps somebody else with a sex problem. See, there's a language there too. We alcoholics have a different language than addicts. Trap house doesn't come up in our meetings. And I think this is all, just so everybody knows, this is all going to be personal opinion, I think. And so just take it that way. You know, any situation could be an AA issue. If the dog is shitting on my rug, gets me, it's possible I can drink about it. That's true. Any situation can be bad for. Groups have repeatedly tried other activities and they have always failed. So now we're being given instruction. They tried it, it failed. Hence an all recovery group. They ain't gonna make it. These people are too different. They're too different. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where I was. It has always been learned that there is no possible way to make non-alcoholics into AA members. We have to confine our membership to alcoholics and we have to confine our AA groups to a single purpose. If we don't stick to these principles, we shall almost surely collapse. And if we collapse, we cannot help anyone. There we go. Sit. Yeah, and Daryl hit it while I was reading. That's why I asked him to come on with me. He had phone calls. Sorry, I'll catch him on the next one. I'm gonna start dragging you motherfuckers on here with me. I'll just use the word willing. Be like, are you willing to do that? Great, then let's do it. Kidding. I'm just in a really good mood, so get everybody. Yeah, it's too diverse. It's too broad. There we are. There we are. And I'm saying this for me, okay? Because I know some people are okay with it. For me, I need a male sponsor because there's some things I talk about I am just not comfortable talking about with women. I'm not. No, I need a man for that side. And I'm talking about for me, okay? Because I'm trying to prove the too diverse point. Now, I have helped. I have temporarily sponsored women. Yes. To the 4-step. I will not do the 4-step with them. But that's for me. Okay? Now, everybody gets their own path. So if you're a woman and you help men, or you're a man and you help women, then you're further than I am on that. Okay, that's all that means. You're just a little more advanced on that than me. There's some things I'm just not sex. I'm not going to talk about sex with them. Right. And that's bad. I'm not willing at the present moment. We'll put it that way instead. To illustrate, let's review some typical experiences. Now, experience is fact. Years ago, we hoped to give AA membership to our families and certain non-alcoholic friends who have been greatly helpful. They had their problems too, and when we wanted them in our fold. Regrettably, we found that this was impossible. I have friends that are non-alcoholic who I would consider an AA friend. I hear what they're saying. My pastor Marcia, yeah, she's not alcoholic, but she thinks just like I do when it comes to God. Um, Regrettably, we found this was they couldn't make straight AA talks, nor save a few exceptions, couldn't identify with new AA members. Hence, they couldn't do continuous 12-step work. Close to us, these good folks were. We had to deny them membership. We could only welcome them at our open meetings. Now, these people go on to have servants' hearts, and they are utilized. We bring them into the fold in more of a professional way, like once we've completed the steps. And yeah, a lot of people start to go to church or these different outlets. Okay, so that certainly isn't unusual. Yeah, I'm a drunk. I don't exactly. Now there are some people. I don't know if you ever saw Fight Club, right? Fight Club. There are people that hop different types of meetings. They're called hypochondriacs. Did I do it in verse? I may have. Sometimes I get to talking and my listexia will just change the whole thing. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't do it, so why do it in reverse? Got it. Okay, I did not say it backwards. I caught it. Therefore, I see no way of making non-alcoholic addicts into AA members. Experience says loudly that we can admit no exceptions, even though drug users and alcoholics happen to be first cousins of a sort. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, so we're kind of first cousins. Yeah, I figured it out in my meat brain. If we persist in trying this, I'm afraid it'll be hard on the drug user himself as well as on AA. We must accept the fact that no non-alcoholic, whatever his affliction, can be converted into an alcoholic AA member. Man, you're gonna have to your drink card's way too empty. you're you know, and I've actually had people say this to me. We had one person at the Phoenix concept. He was a non-alcoholic, but he loved it so much he came. He didn't speak in the meeting. He did not donate to the AA meetings. He did, however, give his time and donate back to the Phoenix concept. But he gave more time than money. I'm taking this out of language of the heart. and it's called Problems Other Than Alcohol. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I'm only a page and a half in, and it's like 4 pages. So, but I think this is a good read, man. And it was a little different, and it gives us an idea. What is it really saying to me? That Dion needs to stay in his fucking lane. That's what I'm seeing. Dion needs to stay in his lane. Alcoholics. Alcoholics. Suppose, though, that we were approached by a drug addict who nevertheless had a genuine alcoholic history. There's a lot of people in AA that are, we call them double dippers. Okay. But a lot of these people hardly ever bring up their drug portion. They might sometimes, and that doesn't really bother me. If we persist, so we might hurt the drug addict by thinking we are the answer. Isn't that playing God? Hey, Amber, she's back. She's back. Stupid fucking school. I worked at this credit card processor place, electronic payment systems. Fuck them. Okay. And they had put in a thing to stop our phones. The FCC was there in like 2 hours, man. In like 2 hours. They're like, there's this dead zone. And they got fined. Oh, boy. I just sat there and laughed. All right. And then I got on my phone. We got a lot of smart asses. I suppose they were approached by, there was a time when such a person would be rejected. Many early AAs had the almost comical notion that they were pure alcoholic, guzzlers only, no other serious problems at all. When alcoholics, ex-cons, and drug users first turned up, there was much pious indignation. What will people think? Chanted the pure alcoholics. Happily, this foolishness has long since evaporated. No, it hasn't. No, see, if we don't learn, we're going to repeat it. Okay? That's why I like Bill's stuff. Okay? I don't agree with everything he says. He's a little conceited. But what I love about Bill is he will tell you everything he did wrong. And that's the humility that I love about him. So when he says this stuff, I believe him, man. Even though my brain doesn't totally agree. What is that? It's faith for me. It's faith for me. That's for me. One of the best AAs I know is a man who had 7 years on the needle before he joined up with us. But prior to that, he had been a terrific alcoholic, and his history proved it. Therefore, he could qualify for AA, and this he certainly did. Since then, he has helped many AAs and some non-AAs with their pill and drug troubles. Of course, that is strictly his affair, and is no way the business of AA group to which he belongs. In his group, he is a member because in the actual fact, he is an alcoholic. And they actually mention him in the 12 by 12 and Tradition 3. So they finally told us what he said. I have an addiction far more stigmatized than you do. Well, drug addiction. Yeah, more stigmatized than alcoholism. Okay. Addicts have a different battle. They have a different battle to fight. And I think as far as I can go is empathy. I can empathize. I don't do sympathy. Sympathy means I'm going to cry with you over your problem. Empathy means I understand We're going to come up with a solution. Such is the sum of what AA cannot do for narcotic addicts or for anybody else. Man, now that's humbling. That is humbling. And you know what? It kind of puts me in my place, and I like it. I like it. Okay, here come more experience. My experience was I found my solution in my my addictions in AA. I just didn't bring up drugs in meetings. I dealt with those privately with my sponsor and other addicts. Yeah. See? His experience is different. And that's why I think it's important that we read this and understand that, yeah, we get it. All right. As long as I don't think that I'm the alpha omega, then I think I'm doing okay. Right. It's all right. I got through it. All right. It looks like there's a story here. So I'm going to do this story and then I'm going to wrap up because there's still, actually, we're halfway through it. Now then, what can be done? Very effective answers to problems other than freedom from alcohol have always been found through special purpose groups, some of them operating within AA and some on the outside. Our first special group was created way back in 1938. AA needed a World Service office and some literature. It had service problems that could not be met by an AA group as such. Therefore, we formed a board of trustees, the Alcoholic Foundation, to look after these matters. Some of the trustees were alcoholic and some were non-alcoholics. See, only an AA would get that joke. So I don't know. Are you amazed? See, that right there is a great example of fellowship, as fellowship working, right? Just because I said that, we can run up. You would have made a whole room laugh with that joke, right? That's camaraderie, right? Obviously, this was not an AA group. Instead, it was a group of AAs and non-AAs who devoted themselves to a special task. Daryl and I are doing something like that right now. I got the joke. Yeah, I said I was halfway through, and you're like, why am I not amazed? Right? I do stuff like this all the time. You know, the podcast. It's not an AA group. It is something, and as an AA member, that I do on the outside. This is not. Some people think this is an AA. I wouldn't consider it that. Still go to a meeting. I'm not a meeting. Right? Another example. In 1940, the New York AAs got lonesome and installed themselves in a club. The club had directors and dues paying AA members. For a long time, the club members and directors thought they were an AA group. No, you are not. Oh, schooling you. With a K. For a long time, the members and directors thought, but after a while, it was found that lots of AAs who attended the meetings at Old 24th didn't care one hoot for the club as such. Hence, the management of the club, for its social purpose, had to be completely separated from the management of the AA group that came there to hold its meetings. Okay? That's why I shut that down. It is currently, the Club Trudge is currently shut down. Why? Because I'm running the AA groups and I cannot do both. Can't do both. Nope. People be like, what do you think you're doing? Yeah, I think we're all being shits this month. It's our month, man. It's our month. It took years of hassling to prove that you couldn't put an AA group into a club business and make it stick. Everywhere today, club managements and their due-paying members are seen as special purpose group, not as AA groups. So these are special purpose groups, clubs. York Street, Primary Purpose, Fourth Dimension, Mount View, Puttin Sober. These are all special vitality. There's a bunch. I missed the Little Red House. Brighton Club, Henderson Community Church. There's one standing member. The same thing happened with drying out places and 12th step houses managed by AAs. We never think of these activities AA groups. They're clearly seen as a function of interested individuals who are doing something helpful and often very valuable jobs. That's it. Okay. Daryl and I are being very specific on some things. Number one, 12-step house. We're like, it's not even called a sober living. It's more transitional, right? Because according to some people, you need to be required. No, okay, like the Better Business Bureau. It was a pay-to-play thing, right? Yeah, which is very, very interesting. I think it's the only club in Colorado that's like that. I think the rest is owned by, they're rented out. Like Primary Purpose is rented out by somebody. Okay. And I tell you now, they ain't making tons of money off of it. They're not. All these things we don't do for money. If you're not doing it because you love to help people, it won't work. And that's what they're trying to say. And that's what a lot of us are trying to bring back. Not bring it back, right? 1947. Wow, I did not know that. That's really interesting. Some years ago, numbers of AAs formed themselves in retreat groups having a religious purpose. At first, they wanted to call themselves AA for various descriptions, but they soon realized this could not be done because their group had a dual purpose, both AA and religion. So see, it's okay to bring AA in, but you can't call it an AA group. The Hayworth House is a 12th step based house, as far as it goes. 12 steps. Beyond that is none of my business. That is why everything that is clinical, I'll put it this way. I was just talking with somebody who's kind of doing it the way that, and he said, people will call him and ask him, do you take Medicaid? And he says, well, I let people use their Medicaid when they go to the doctor. In other words, it's a stupid question. No, we don't take Medicaid. For your rent? No. And I hear what he's saying. At another time, a number of us AAs wanted to enter the field of alcohol education. I was one of them. Bill said that, not me. I was one of them too. I had my CAC when I was 20. We associate ourselves with some non-alcoholics likewise interested. The non-alcoholics wanted AA because they needed our experience, philosophy, and general slant. Got to be very careful on this. This is towing a very thin line. Okay? Things were fine until some of us AAs publicly disclosed our membership in the educational group. There it is. Why bother? What does it matter? Right away, the public got the idea that this particular brand of alcoholic education and Alcoholics Anonymous were the one and the same thing. It took years to change this impression, but now this correction has been made. Plenty of AA members work with this fine group, and we are glad that they do it. Correct. Like, I would like to have AA meetings held at the house. Okay? But they are separate. They're separate. They're different. Yeah. And that's a conversation we'll need to have. Is it right? Is it wrong? Okay. But what I'm really enjoying with Daryl is, one of us takes, the devil's advocate side and we figure it out. What's going to be right? I don't know that I'm right. I'm trying to figure that out, right? It was thus proven as individuals we can carry the AA experience and ideas into any outside field, whatever, provided we guard the anonymity and refuse to use the AA name for money raising or publicity purposes. So, when I worked at Detox, I'd be talking to a client, which I don't even really like saying. I was talking to another person, right? And I'd tell them, hey, I'm in recovery too. Okay. Sometimes I would go on and take them to AA meetings. I'm not allowed to talk at these AA meetings. I'm not a member at the moment. I'm being paid. And therefore, I've got to keep my mouth shut. Yep. Because I'm not there as an AA member. I'm there as a paid employee by Aurora Mental Health. So I'm very sure that these experiences of yesterday can be the basis of resolving today's confusions about the narcotic problem. This problem is new, not anymore, but the AA experience and tradition which can solve it is already old and time tested. I think we might sum it up like this. We cannot give AA membership to non-alcoholic narcotic addicts, but like anyone else, they should be able to attend certain open AA meetings, provided, of course, that the group themselves are willing. There's your answer. Each group's autonomous. There seems to be no reason why several AAs cannot join. Oh, sorry, I skipped a paragraph. AA members who are so inclined should be encouraged to band together in groups to deal with sedative and drug problems, but they ought to refrain from calling themselves AA groups. There you go. See? That's why. Because in my mind, your ass best be there. But it can't work that way. See? He cleared it up by doing what? He made it simple. He made it simple and right. See? We've got these answers, man. I didn't have the answer. Daryl did. That's why I can't do it alone. That is the exact reason. This isn't easy, man. You got to be 100% honest with yourself. If I'm not, I will fuck it up. Right? Yeah. And it's a lot more fun. There seems to be no reason why AAs cannot join, if they wish, with a group of straight addicts to solve the alcohol and drug problem together. But obviously, such a dual-purpose group should not insist that it be called an AA group, nor should it use the AA name in its title. Neither should it straight addicts contingent be led to believe that they have become AA members by reason of such an association. Certainly, there is very good reason for interested AAs to join with outside groups working on the narcotic problem, provided the traditions of anonymity and of no endorsement are respected. In conclusion, I want to say that throughout AA's history, most of our special purpose groups have accomplished very wonderful things. There's a great reason to hope that those AAs who are now working in the grim regions of narcotic addiction will achieve equal success. In AA, the group has strict limitations, but the individual has scarcely any. Remembering to observe the traditions of anonymity and non-endorsement, the AA member can carry AA's message into every troubled area of this very troubled world. You're going to find out where your passions lie. Now as an AA member, I can see maybe I see a need in an area, like let's say I'm in Adams County, and I see a need. Well, as an AA member, I can go start an NA group. I can make it available for NA. Can I not? See? And I can help that way. Now, I'm not a member of Narcotics Anonymous, but I can certainly offer the space. So there's always something that we can do. I'm involved with a lot of different things, like the detox is coming up. Well, they don't think I'm involved, but I'm involved. Let me rephrase it. They don't want me involved because it causes more work for them. And they, if people don't want to change, they don't want to change. And that goes true for anybody, right? So what do? Well, we do the best with what we're given then. Right? That's what we do. All right. Let's end with this. It's why we have each other. Checks and balances. Yeah. Without other people in my life, I will get out of my lane. It'll happen. And that's why they're there, to help me. We all have the same intention. And when we can get together and form that, then it'll become something much bigger and different. Always does. All right. I didn't think I was going to read the whole thing. Were you amazed? No, me either. Not by that. No. All right. I love you. Maybe I'm amazed at the way I love you. Peace out. And have a